ladies and gentlemen. I did go on the Washington Post live because, and watch the trial. And I noticed ABC and CBS and, a lot of channels were broadcasting this live. So this is Al Jazeera, March 29th, 2020. I said this before to y'all. When you look at some of the people that have come forward to talk about Chauvin, it was very obvious this man had it in for black men. He did not like black men, and he used that badge to be on the streets and get back at them every chance he could get. And there's a lot of them like him. There's judges and prosecutors that are just like this. Make no mistake about it. They exist. They are real. And we have been dealing with this for centuries. So the prosecutor said Chauvin's knee on Floyd was grinning and crushing. This is what the prosecutor said. And by the way, I was so glad they didn't pick Lee Merritt. It was just so nice to see a black attorney that was not Lee Merritt for once. So the opening statements began Monday, which was today, in the trial of Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer on trial for an alleged murder of George Floyd. Well, that's not alleged. He really did kill him. The man whose death sparked international protest against racism and police brutality. Both the prosecution and defense laid out their narrative of the events of Floyd's death in May 25th, arrest and death, discussing how the witness who number in the hundreds will prove their theory. The worst thing that should have happened to George Floyd over that counterfeit bill was a citation, and they should have just left after that. There was no need for such a harsh and over-the-top arrest. But see, this is what they are told of how they got to deal with us. When they deal with us, they got to deal with us with a heavy hand. Well, all I can say is get ready, because that heavy hand is coming back to you. Okay. The trial began with the infamous video of the arrest, and I watched it and I had to turn the sound down. George Floyd's yelling almost brought me to tears. I could not get through that part. And I knew they were going to show the video, and they're going to show it again. And this trial they're anticipating will be a month long. So it's starting at the end of March. They're saying that it will probably go on until the end of April, a month. Jerry Blackwell, a prosecutor in with the Attorney General's office, described Chauvin, who was white, as engaging in excessive force during the arrest and prevention of others from assisting Floyd, who was black, as he lay dying. There was a black woman, okay, and she was in the medical field. She actually approached Chauvin. Chauvin pulled out a can of mace and aimed it at her. So she backed away. But she actually was trying to go and see if she could feel a pulse. That was just nasty. So Blackwell showed an image of the arrest taken on a cell phone. A lot of people had their phones out when that was going on, which shows Chauvin's knee on Floyd's neck, grinding. They said he was grinning and crushing him until, his breath was gone. Floyd died while Chauvin had his knee on his neck for nearly 9 minutes. An event caught on camera and a widely seen video, yes, that the U.S. media looped on multiple days after the killing. They looped the killing over and over and over and over and over, like y'all were getting pure joy out of watching a lynching. I have never to this very day seen a white person die on a loop in the mainstream media like y'all show black people dying. It's a fact. Okay, Blackwell said Minneapolis police chief would testify that Chauvin's conduct did not agree with the training he was provided as a member of the police force. No, he did what he was trained to do. Because all y'all are a bunch of killers. Whenever you kill someone unarmed, you are a murderer. And that was what he was trained to do. That's what many of them are trained to do. That's why we keep seeing it over and over. Y'all don't care about innocent people being in jail. You don't care about people unarmed being killed. You don't care about none of them things. So that is their training, not to care when they're dealing with us. Just take on an uncaring attitude at all times. Chauvin is charged with unintentional. I don't know why they're calling it unintentional. You can't be on someone's neck for over 9 minutes and that was not intentional. How can that be unintentional? Okay. It was very intentional, and anybody watching that would have seen it. But anybody watching it that's not mentally ill or have biases would have seen plenty wrong with that incident. So if you saw nothing wrong, I'm not talking to you. You're one of them crazies. Okay, because you know how some people are in this country. A cop is never wrong. A cop is never wrong, as if that's really realistic. So unintentional second degree murder, third degree murder, and second degree manslaughter. And I don't think any of those charges are appropriate for him. The former police officer pleaded not guilty to the charges. He could face up to 40 years in jail, but we know dudes like him don't get that kind of time. If convicted on the serious charge, though Minnesota's sentencing guidelines, it would be closer to 10 to 15 years. I'm telling you, he's going to get the Amber Geiger sentence, y'all. That's what he's going to get. He's going to get the Amber Geiger sentence. Mm, mm, mm. So this case is more than 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Defense lawyer Eric Nelson told jurors, referencing the length of the widely seen video. Nelson said Chauvin's conduct, it was in line with the police training and depicted the circumstances of the arrest as a high risk endeavor for Chauvin and the three other officers at the scene, J. Alexander King, Thomas Lane, and Tutal. At least that's how they pronounced his name in court. They said Tao, not Thou. Okay, so that the H must be silent, like in the name Thomas. Okay, so who will stand trial separately? So we know the three others, their trial, I believe, is coming up in August. It's over the summer. It's in the summer. Nelson said 38th Street and Chicago Avenue, the intersection where Floyd was arrested, is a high crime area. As of officer conduct, the arrest, the crowd that watched them grew aggravated. And, they had rising tensions in the crowd. And you saw Tutal over there doing what he could to keep them back. He also said that Floyd's size, because George Floyd was 6'6", and he weighed 223 pounds. But to me, that's irrelevant. If you can't handle men of all different sizes, then why are you a cop? Yes, you're going to be dealing with men bigger than you. Some may be smaller than you. Some will be your size. Shouldn't you have been trained for that? I'm just saying. The use of force is not attractive, but it is necessary. When policing, Nelson said, demonstrators peacefully stood outside Hennepin County Government Center, the location of the trial. They also have remained at the intersection where George Floyd died, renaming it George Floyd Square. though authorities intended to retake the square. Okay, so they just have some comments in here from Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump. I'm not really interested in that, so I'm going to go down. Um, Derek Chauvin is on trial, but this case is about much more because it isn't the first case that we've seen police officers killing a Black person in the United States. This case is expected to take around 1 month, given the length of the witness list, though it could, conclude sooner. So they're anticipating a month, but it could be sooner. So, ladies and gentlemen, look, I watched some of it. The attorney for the family, he was actually pretty good. I'm not going to deny. I like the way he opened the case. It was very powerful. But I'm also leery about cheering anything on because we saw what happened in the Amber Geiger case. Okay, we're plain and simple. And I'm telling you, I believe Derek Chauvin is going to get the lightest sentence known to mankind for his act. Yes, I think he should spend the rest of his life behind bars. For what he did, he should never be free on the streets. I don't believe anybody would be safe around him. But y'all, please tell me what you think. I'll be periodically doing updates on the trial. I may not do it every day, but periodically, just watching it, I will give you all updates. But please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.